Hello there folks, these are the hands of me, Dan Brown, from a sort of interesting life.com. You're joining me in an echoey room, so it must be a new delivery at my mum's house. And my goodness me, today we are about to have a look at this lovely little creation. Now this, amazingly, was bought off eBay for for about $29.99 I think. And if we have a look at the box here, it's extremely generically called the Wireless IP Camera brackets P2P, which I'm assuming is Internet Protocol and peer-to-peer, but certainly don't quote me on that. Now, the setup of this camera was pretty straightforward and simple. You've got a few instructions here and it tells you which app to download, but really I suppose it's just about having a play around and figuring out what setup you want exactly. And I suppose, without further ado, we'll have a quick 360 of the camera itself, which, as you can see, is pretty compact and pretty small. Now, what I wasn't really expecting this morning was to be out on the boat and get a phone call saying, Dan, we've got a security camera here, can you come and set it up? But really, beyond that, I suppose, what I really wasn't expecting was to turn up and find something this good. Now, on the back, we've got the Ethernet port, which isn't used in our case. Then there's the micro SD card, obviously your antenna here, and a power port. Now, the only thing I'll say is, really, the power adapter itself is only a very short cord, so you might need an extension cord if you're, well, obviously depending on how exactly you want to set this up yourself. So I suppose, without further ado, we're going to get this running and I will show you just why I love this so much, because it is literally remote control, it's got night vision, it's just fantastic to be honest. So I've just plugged the camera in at the mains. It takes a few seconds to go through some sort of calibration process, but then once you hear the chime, we can tap the app here. And you'll see we've only got one camera obviously to connect up to. Tap connect and you can see how many seconds is this going to take. Maybe about 5, 6, 7 seconds there. And we are now looking at the footage straight from the camera on the iPad. This is currently working over Wi-Fi, but I have tested it out using the phone network, as this is a 3G iPad as well. And I'd say when you're using it over the phone network, there's a delay of a few seconds more when you're controlling it and obviously the video footage getting through to you. But now here's what we really want to talk about and why I love this thing so much. Again, £30, we haven't even got onto showing you the night vision yet, but we have now got a Wi-Fi connected remote control camera which we can literally swipe to move around. And I don't know if that's just me, but it seems like the most space age thing ever. And again, perhaps it's just me loving gadgets and this sort of thing, but £30, and like I say, in just a moment we'll get up into a dark room and I'll show you what the night vision's like, because that's fantastic. But you've got all sorts of options along the bottom here for different things. Take photos, record obviously. You can also set it to automatically pan around. Hello everybody. And again, I mean, you can see just the amount of options you've got here and how well it actually does work. Now, I'd say because we've got a bright sun outside trying to stream in through the windows, that's sometimes at some points affecting the contrast, but you can still see just, well, I hope you can still see. In fact, if I just pick this up for one moment, hopefully this free-hand holding of the iPad up is giving you a little bit of a better idea of what the footage is like. So then, on to the night vision. Now you can see here that it's automatically lit up all of the infrared LEDs around it there. Or as far as I can tell, that's what they are, because the effect that they're about to have is fantastic. So you can see generally how dark it is in this room, but if I now show you the footage coming live from this camera to the iPad. Yes, my friends, you are now looking at me illuminated in the pitch black by these LEDs. And well, as I say, it's just, again, absolutely unbelievable. And if I move out of the camera shot here so that you can see when I'm not taking up all of the light, it does actually go and spread out quite well on the walls in the background of this room. And I mean, those walls are being lit up extremely well there, and I'd say between the camera and I'd say between the camera and the wall is probably about 4 or 5 meters space up to that top corner. But anyway, let's stop looking at this and wrap this video up. But honestly, I can't tell you how incredibly impressed I am. And you can see, even though we're filming this here, as a camera filming off another screen. How amazing is it that it can be this clear still? I suppose on that note then, we will wrap things up and say thank you very much for watching. I'll post a link in the description to something like this, if not the exact model, then something similar hopefully. And of course, as usual, feel free to check out my other videos. There's not really any stuff like this there. It's all about living on a boat and generally being in the great outdoors and scenery, that sort of thing. But until the next time, keep it security worthy, keep it boat worthy, have a fantastic day, and of course, farewell.